For perspective, let's bring in Barbara Barrett. She is Executive Director of the Frontier Duty Free Association. It represents Canadian businesses active in duty-free sales. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us. Before we get launched into our discussions, describe your group and who exactly you represent.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. It's a big day. I represent the 33 land border duty-free stores that are on the Canadian side of the border that are export only. So to go into the store and purchase goods there, you have to exit out into the United States.
And you say this is a big day. Why so?
We've been waiting 20 months for this news that the United States has opened the border up to Canadians over the land border. Again, as we are export only, we depend wholly on that flow of traffic over the Canadian-U.S. border. And although we have seen some improvement with the Canadian announcement allowing Americans to come up, because what comes up must also go back down, there really was only a 20% increase, and we were still 80% down in sales compared to pre-pandemic.
So during the worst of the pandemic, when the border was completely sealed to non-essential travel, sales would have essentially disappeared to zero. Is that correct? And I'm hearing now you had a rebound. Your members had a rebound of about 20% with the opening of a northern flow of traffic, if you want to describe it that way. But still, sales were still down 80% from normal levels.
Correct. So during the height of the pandemic, when both sides of the border were closed, some stores were closed completely because they had no non-essential traffic, completely tourist reliant. But some stores were able to stay open to service or to service essential workers, but 95 to 100% down during the pandemic.
What are your members' hopes now that if we get the news that we are expecting, the border will be reopened to non-essential traffic in early November? Are they expecting, for instance, a surge of Canadians going down who have been prevented from being able to do so?
Listen, we're expecting an improvement, obviously, but we still have a long road to recovery. This isn't going to be a floodgate opening and suddenly we're back to pre-pandemic sales. We still have a long road ahead of us. We've missed 2 high seasons. We've missed 2 summers now. We've missed 2 falls. We have a long way to go. So we're very appreciative of the supports that the government has provided to us up to this point, but we still depend on them going forward. So we are looking forward to the Liberal government implementing and living up to their promise on the campaign to have these supports for the hardest hit businesses, because we certainly are among them.
Are there any supports unique to your industry that would be helpful?
We have the lifeline of the wage subsidy, and the rent subsidy has been imperative to our survival. So we are very much hoping that they extend those and have a similar support going forward.
Have the operators had to lay off staff during the period, and will they? Do you think they'll be able to get staff back in place in time?
Our stores have been in the border communities. They've been sort of pillars of the border communities for about 30 years, and have had a lot of them have had staff for the same staff for about that amount of time. So unfortunately, yes, there have been a number of layoffs. I was speaking to a store yesterday in Windsor who said they had about a 20% rate of layoffs of their staff. They're hoping they can get them back, but again, it's been 20 months and a lot changes over that time. So that's going to be a challenge going forward.